Okay, good people, Hellcat here. Just another short-ish tutorial. This time we're going to cover Intel. Uh, Intel can be quite fun in missions, but it's notoriously tricky. It's been tried many times in the past, and usually when it comes to implementing it in a mission, it goes wrong. The usual thing is people can't pick it up, and I think I know why nowadays. So, for the past 18 hours I've been working on this. That's 18 hours of my life I'm never going to get back. And so, everybody out there doesn't have to go through what I've just been through. I'm going to try and make it nice and easy. Arma itself does have a quite easy Intel system, or it's certainly the ACE mods do. And that's the ASEX Intel objects. Now this one down here, the notepad, as you see it's an ASEX. That's quite an easy one. You just place it down, and if you go into the attributes, you'll see at the bottom there's a field for text, and all you have to do is write what you want, and that's the Intel done. But it has a serious problem, certainly for the sort of things I want to do, and maybe others, and that is only the person that picks up the Intel can read it. Now it does pass this notepad into the inventory, so you can hand it to others, but that's a bit of a clunky system. And so we'll just quickly run that, and I'll just show you what I mean. So here we are, we've got the scenario. I've got the test civilian there, and the this guy here who looks rather depressed, almost as if he just found out his wife's run off with his second in command, so I don't know what's up with him. So okay, we'll jump in and we'll play as the civvy and wait for it to load. One thing to point out when it starts, I do have an error message at the bottom of the screen. This is nothing to do with this script. I've got a module down that's doing a duplicate call on something, so it's objecting. As you can see down there, this BIS function dynamic groups. It's not a problem. You wouldn't normally get it. It's just something I've done somewhere else. So, okay, here's the ASEX script item. As you can see, you can look at it, get down close, nothing, and nothing will happen until you do the interaction and do a pickup. Now what's that done now is it's picked up the Intel, and it actually puts into your inventory this notepad item, and as it says, you can access from the map screen. So if you go into your map, nothing there, do the interaction, Intel items, notepad, and there you can read the Intel. Yep, that works fine for some scenarios, but as I say, it's only the person who has it can see it, unless they pass it on to somebody else from their inventory, which they can do. Okay, so we've got another method of doing it. So what I've done is I've set up a few little items here. We'll get to them in a moment, but what we're just going to do is just going to pop back and show you what the script is. So we just have to wait for that to come back to Eden Editor. And there we go. So if I tab out, there's the script, and it's not very long. It looks complicated, but as I say, after 18 hours of hell, I think I understand what's going off. This top section here isn't really anything to do with the actual Intel itself. This is just, it performs an add action that allows you to use the scroll wheel, and nothing to change there at all, except this line here. That's when you get down to the object, that is what you will see. It will tell you to pick up Intel or pick up laptop, depending on what you put in. Dead easy to change, you just change it, job done. The next section here, that is what actually gives you the Intel. It uses the inbuilt functions of a diary record. You can see it there. There are other ways of doing it. Now what the diary record does is it puts it through to everybody's map. You you may have noticed, particularly on, say, the CQB section on the training server, where it pops up and it will say task added, you know, like blow shit up, stuff like that. It uses that similar function so that when this intel is picked up, you'll get a message popped up and it will say, and it's depending on your title, what occurs. Normally it'd be like intel added, no problem, right? There is a line here. This is actually a blank picture. There are others. There's some inbuilt ASEX Intel items and they have their own picture. But for most things you don't want the pictures, so took me a while to find this. There is this empty PAA which basically removes the picture and just gives you the text. Again, you don't need to worry about it unless you want to add your own picture, but we'll cover that later. The diary record, there's two customizable fields, this title, and in the menu under the new Intel section you'll see a title and it will have whatever you put there, and when you've got that selected you'll see what's in these two parentheses, which is content, and that's where you add what message you want to do. It uses this server variable, set server variable thing, very complicated. I don't understand it, don't claim to. It uses this because you have these two sections. You have recipients and attribute owners. Now if you just look back up here you'll see this West-East Resistance Civilian. This is actually legacy Arma 2 stuff. These days you would call West is Blue 4, East is Op 4, Resistance is Independent, and Civilian speaks for itself. Now you can do it, and it's usually when these really clever people who build these servers where teams of guys with different factions can do things and you can set it. We don't do that, and I've also found it seems a bit buggy. It doesn't object to that one, and it doesn't object to multiples in that one, but this recipients one I found is a little touchy, in fact very touchy. If you add more than one you start getting this error message about 5 elements presented, 3 expected or something like that, so it's best just to keep it to 1. I tend to use civilians to test, so when I put the object down to test it I'll actually change West to civilian, but you've got to remember to change it back because come mission night you won't be able to pick it up. The other way to do it is to, when you're building a scenario, put down your intel, leave it as West, put down a Blue 4 guy, test it, and then add your AI. If you don't do that, obviously if you put a Blue 4 guy in the bunch of a load of Op 4, the first thing they want to do is use his nipples for target practice, which is why I use civilians. I just have to remember to change it back. And that's the script, that's it, it's dead easy. So you can change that. That's what's presented when you walk to the object. The title is what appears in the map, and under the Intel section, and the content is the message. So we'll just pop back. So we've got these items here, and it can be put on just about any object. Obviously, now there is a thing, if you've got an inventory item, when you walk up to it you'll see 2 options. You can either pick up or you can take. Can get a bit confusing, but it's not really a problem. As I say, you've got from the smallest thing to the very large things. When you pick them up they disappear from the mission and the map. That's it, they're gone, but the intel remains in the map. That one there is a secret documents. That is under the intel items, and it has its own picture tied with it. I'll explain on that later. So that's the notepad, that's the ASEX. We've got a little controller there, and we've got a server here. So what we'll do is we'll just open the attributes, and that's the script put into the init. there's the section there for the handling of the scroll. And if you run down here, you see I've got it set. When you come to it, it'll say pick up intel. That's marked there. And what you'll find is that'll be the title of the intel you picked up. I'll put down captured enemy server, and the message you'll get is complete set of enemy plans. Obviously intel's going to be a little more interesting than that. And there's another one down here which is a gaming set controller, and we'll get to that in a moment. So we'll just quickly run the civilian, play as the character, wait for it to load. By the end of this you'll be fed up of seeing it load, but not as fed up as I am after 18 hours of pain. So you're going to have to put up with it. Right, so that'll be up in a minute. Excuse me. Right, there we go. Just wait for my PC to stabilise. Right, that's built everything, scripts run. Right, as you can see, hover over it, pick up intel, scroll wheel, top left, pick up. Oh, there you go. Pops up, intel added, captured enemy server. Under the intel section, captured enemy server, and the intel. That's great. Not really useful, but then again, this is not a mission. You come out, there's the other object. Down here, pick up intel. There you go. Intel added, Xbox controller. Now, every time an intel is picked up, it moves to the top of the list. So the bottom is the oldest intel, the top is the newest. Xbox controller, hands off, this belongs to Hellcat. There we go. Come out the map, and just down here is a skull. Now I've changed that. It doesn't say pick up intel, it says pick up skull. That's in that add action section. Pick up skull. Intel added skull. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well, if you know Shakespeare. Although I don't think he said that. I think he said, alas, poor Yorick, I knew him, but let's not be picky. Right, no problem. Now, to prove that this is quite simple, and we'll do it on the fly, just to show that normally it's not a tricky thing to do and it works. We're just going to drop another. So down here, as you see, I've got selected here. It's an inventory item, so as you'll see, there's two scroll wheels. Select your banana, double click. My PC's got lots of stuff going off. There's the blank init section. Nip back to the script. Copy it. Paste it in. And in this one, we'll move to the top. Right, it says pick up intel, so I'm going to change that when I can see the cursor. There we go. To pick up banana. Right, okay, and down the bottom, title. So we replace the title with, it could be anything you like, in this case banana, and the content. There it is. Hands off my lunch. Oh, that's it. That's all you need to do. There we go. Banana added. No error messages from there. Load it up again. Wait the obligatory time while it loads. After you've done it a few times, it seems to be getting longer and longer, but it's not. It's just your mind. Okay, people, there was a slight pause there, because as usual, while I'm trying to record a video, the phone rang. You know what it's like, you get it in missions. Okay, we'll walk up to the banana, and as you can see, because it's an inventory item, you also get the option to take banana, which would put it in inventory, but we're going to pick up banana, because that's what the Intel script is. So we pick banana, Intel added, banana, hands off my lunch. Right, it's as simple as that. And as you can see, I put it down, modified the stuff, and it just worked, so all good. Now earlier I mentioned that image. Now that item here, which says take Intel, now that is one of the inbuilt Intel items. It's secret documents, and it has a picture associated with it. So if we actually go to this one and take Intel, you'll get top secret docs, and if you saw there was a little picture, when you go to it you can embed an image. Could be a map, could be an Intel photo, whatever you like. Now that's done, as I said, from the this top section. I'll try again. This diary record texture. Now these are it. This one, this clear empty. This one it's built in the PBO, but the on the ones that are inbuilt, the Intel items like that, secret documents, it's actually in there, ready, done. And again, it's a PAA file, an image file that is pre-coded with the object. So we'll just have a quick look at that. So down there, secret documents, and just scroll up and down till I find it. Now it may not be very clear, but if you look at this line here, the image is in, again it's in the PBO of the of Arma, under the structures FEPC blah 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 blah, secret 01 PAA. The true just says yeah, use it, and it's that image that came up when we highlighted the Intel. Now you can replace that, and so long as you get the path right, and you put the whatever image you like in the in your mission media folder, you can point it to that, so you can really embed any image you like. Dead easy. The tricky bit is just getting the path right. You're just going to have to mess about with that until you do it. And finally on this one, Mr. Miserable up here, he has a document in front of him. Now the script's already been done in, and pick up Intel, and we can go down. Just need to make one correction, something I remembered earlier. I was testing it out and it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how much you format this, Arma will not handle formatting. That /n, which is a pretty standard new line code for scripting, doesn't work. It will just spew it out in one long stream. So what you have to do is make sure that just using your space bar, you space stuff out and give enough so that the thing actually becomes readable rather than just one block of text. So we'll just quickly have a look at that. I thought it might say his wife had left him, but no, that's not the case. So for one last time, start our civilian, play as the character. I'm sure it takes longer, but it doesn't really. Okay, right, just wait for this thing to stabilize itself, load the maps and scripts locally, and then we'll be good to go. So, okay, oh god, I thought he was going to burst into tears then. Okay, there we go, take Intel, we take the Intel, pops up Intel, and there's the message. As you can see, there's no formatting. You have to rely on putting your own spacing in, but you can put anything you like. If you did want to add an image, then you'd have to work out the you'd have to put it in your mission media folder and work out the path to it and add it, and that's it. It's fairly simple. It seems very reliable. It's been an issue in the past where people have added Intel and it's not worked, and I think a lot of it was to do with the little buggy bits where it's the recipients and it ends up that it won't allow you to pick it up, but we seem to have got by that. I hope some of you found that useful and it's stuff you can use, and I'm really hoping that you won't have to go through all the tears and tantrums I did to try and work it out, which is why I do these, to try and make life easier. So until the next one, oh yeah, just mention I shall put the script in the description of the video so you can copy and paste it and use it as you like, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers all.